Galileo 5.
You can feel the adventure.
Yes, indeed.
NASA's great at naming things.
They are.
Mercury, Apollo, Atlantis, the Sea of Tranquility, the Ocean of Storms.
Good names.
First time I heard Galileo 5, the way the imagination immediately, it reminded me of the way folks in my generation felt when we heard Yellow Submarine.
Okay.
We really did all want to live in a yellow
I
submarine.
can't believe they gave you people driver's licenses.
Tell me where we're going again.
Mars briefing rehearsal.
Why?
To rehearse.
Say the name.
I said the name.
Say it again. Your imagination, like a child, will explode with unrestrained possibilities for adventure.
Galileo 5.
You didn't say it right.
I said it fine.
Say it again.
Who wrote this intro?
I did.
You're from NASA Public Affairs?
Yeah.
You mind if I give it a polish?
Is there a problem?
No, it's great. You mind if I change it?
I'd prefer if you didn't.
Just the same.
Public Affairs has cleared the text. If it's going to be changed, I'd prefer if the president changed it.
See, that's kind of what he pays me to do, so.
Look, I don't want to step on your toes. You don't want to step on mine. We're both writers.
Yes, I suppose, if we broaden the definition to those who can spell.
Excuse me?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Sir, this is the crew from NASA Public Affairs.
How you doing?
Sir, we're going to run you through the drill for tomorrow morning. First of all, you'll be flanked on either side by the Flight Operations Manager, David Narakawa, and NASA Chief Administrator, Dr. Peter Jobson. On either side of them will be Dr. Samuel Thurman of the Meteorite Analysis Team from the Johnson Space Center and Dr. Joyce Gray Sutton, Planetary Geologist from Cal State Northridge. On these monitors, you'll be seeing the images beamed back from the surface, and on this computer screen, you'll be able to read the questions being sent in by the kids. I strongly urge you.
Yes.
I strongly urge you.
I know.
I strongly urge you, Mr. President, to act as moderator and pass the questions off to one of the experts on the panel rather than answer it yourself.
Yes.
Would you like to see some of the questions?
We have questions in advance.
Some of them. Would you put them up?
Sure. Oh. Katie, sixth grader, Green Oaks, Junior High School, Austin, Texas, asked, how old is the planet Mars? That's a great question, Katie. The planet Mars is 4.6 billion years old.
What did I just say?
I knew that one.
Nobody likes a know-it-all.
Yes, God forbid that while talking to 60,000 public school students, the president should appear smart.
That's fine. Just don't show off.
I don't show off. Stevie, fourth grader, PS 31, Manhattan, asked, what is the temperature on Mars? Well, Stevie, if one of our expert panelists were here, they would tell you the average temperature ranges from 15 degrees to minus 140.
That happens to be wrong. It ranges from 60 to minus 225.
I converted it to Celsius in my head.
Thank you.
Can I see the intro?
It's up on the prompter.
Ah, good morning. I'm speaking to you live from the West Wing of the White House. Today, we have a very unique opportunity to take part live in an extremely historic event which, whoa, boy.
How you doing, Mr. President?
Who wrote this intro?
I did, sir. I'm Scott Tate from NASA Public Affairs.
Scott, unique means one of a kind. Something can't be very unique, nor can it be extremely historic.
While we're at it, do we have to use the word live twice in the first two sentences like we just cracked the technology?
Look,
we're also broadcasting in living color, right?
Sam,
Yeah.
he's gonna make some changes.
You going to clear him with me?
I doubt it. Write this. Good morning. 11 months ago, a 1,200-pound spacecraft blasted off from Cape Canaveral, Florida. 18 hours ago, is it 18 hours ago? We're on the air at noon Eastern.
Yeah.
18 hours ago, it landed on the planet Mars. You, me, and 60,000 of your fellow students across the country, along with astroscientists and engineers from the Jet Propulsion Lab in Southern California, NASA Houston, and right here at the White House, we're going to be the first to see what it sees and to chronicle the extraordinary voyage of an unmanned ship called Galileo 5.
He said it right. How does he not just tell me?
Sir.
How does he not come to me and say, Jed, this is my grandson, and there are lots more like him, and there are lots more to come. Can you help us out?
Because
Damn it, he knows we would have gotten it done. Why doesn't he tell me these
Because he doesn't want to make political hay out of his grandson, which is commendable.
things? Ah, he's a crank.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Hey. Hey, Donna, you need something?
Donna's the one who started sniffing around it.
CJ, that phone message was for real. He's not going to stop till he drops.
He might.
CJ, let me tell you something. Don't ever, ever underestimate the will of a grandfather. We're madman. We don't give a damn. We got here before you, and they'll be here after. We'll make enemies, we'll break laws, we'll break bones. But you will not mess with the grandchildren.
There was quite a bit of sugar in the creme de caramel.
Yeah.
CJ, if I told you to screw the print deadline, what would you want to do right now?
I'd want to see if there was a way I could help him out.
Give him some dignity, right? And give him a rest. The guy's going to collapse out there.
Yes, sir.
Screw the print deadline, Leo.
Look,
We will talk about the other thing later.
I'm just asking how we're gonna do this.
Excuse me?
The chairman's gonna gavel him off if he stops talking or sits.
Excuse me?
What are you doing?
I didn't know if I'm supposed to.
We usually don't raise our hands.
So it's not the worst idea in the world.
The senator's allowed to yield for a question without yielding the floor.
What do you mean?
He's allowed to yield for a question without yielding the floor.
I was in the House. I know nothing about Senate rules.
Yes, sir, but Josh does, and he likes to explain things, and, well, I let him.
I'm pretty sure it's true, sir.
What time is it? Let's wake up a parliamentarian.
Yeah, but the problem is the only people who ask questions are senators.
We're going to get one of them to walk in there. Charlie!
The Senate wants to go home. They want to vote.
Yes, sir.
I want to call senators. We'll start with our friends. When we're done with those two, we'll go on to the other 98.
Yes, sir.
Charlie,
Yes, ma'am.
start with the grandfathers.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no damn holiday for us either.
We'll be in the dining room.
CJ, no kidding. Make this happen.
Yes, sir.
You called whoever you had a relationship with.
And if you didn't get anywhere, they got a call from the president.
Do I have your word on that, Sarah?
We've been at it 20 minutes. We were coming up with
nothing
nothing.
until
Got it?
Senator Tom Grissom of Washington State was headed from his office to the chamber.
And everybody started flooding into the communications bullpen to see what would happen. Problem being, of
Of course, that Stackhouse would have to know as much about rules and procedures as Donna had and not think we were trying to screw him.
We stared at 14 different television sets while calculating in our heads the time it would take Grissom to walk from his office to the
floor, and we were in frozen silence while we listened to the rules of blackjack.
Unless you were counting cards.
And then it happened.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Grissom. Will the senator yield for a question?
Come on.
Mr. Stackhouse?
Come on.
Trust me just this once, you grouchy old son of a bitch.
Mr. Chairman, I yield to the senator from Washington for a question. My question is in 22 parts and might take quite a while. Perhaps you'd like to sit and have some water while I ask it.
And that was it. Grissom gave him a rest and an opportunity to answer some real questions about autism. And when Grissom was done, McNamara took over. And after McNamara came Gianelli. Grandfathers all. I'm gonna have to finish this up now and go into the press room and explain what happened. There'll be no vote tonight, and the Senate will go home for the week.
And Stackhouse, with our help, blew the print deadline anyway. There's really no reason
For Josh not to go back to the conference chairman and reopen the bill.
There's so many days here where you can't imagine that anything good will ever happen. You're
buried under a black fog of partisanship and self-promotion and
Stupidity and a brand of politics that's just plain mean.
Yes, Hoynes had us nervous with his admonishment of big oil, and yes, the president was making us nervous too, but that's for tomorrow. Because tonight I've seen a man with no legs stay standing, Dad, and a guy with no voice keep shouting. And if politics brings out the worst in people, then maybe people bring out the best. Because I'm looking at the TV right now, and damn if 28 U.S. senators haven't just walked onto the floor to help. I'll catch the first plane out in the morning, and if you wouldn't mind not turning 70 until tomorrow. It'll be what's called an Alpha Strike Formation flyover. It's 5 F-18 fighters and an E-2 Hawkeye. Steve.
The ancient Marines, have the president spoken to their families or them yet?
The president's expressed his gratitude and concern to the Marines and their families.
Did they express any concern for the president's health?
No, the president's health isn't a matter of concern. The conversation was focused on the Marines and their contribution to our national security.
CJ,
Mark.
there are reports of Coast Guard cutters intercepting Haitians off the Florida Keys.
Yeah, they're being considered economic refugees and diverted to Guantanamo Bay.
CJ,
Carl?
does this mean that the president can't afford to spend his own political capital right now by accepting mass numbers of refugees?
That's not a factor.
Do you think that the president's political problems make it more or less likely that he will order an invasion?
Again, that's not a factor.
CJ, I'm sorry, Joe. CJ, would you say that the president's situation makes it harder for him to focus on the situation in Haiti?
To be honest with you, Carl, I think the president's relieved to be focusing on something that matters. Obviously, what I meant to say was...
Excuse me, did you just say he was relieved?
Obviously, what I...
Toby? I don't believe it. You saw it. I was standing right there. He's relieved he might have to send troops into battle. He's relieved he might have to put American lives at risk and kill Haitian civilians because it takes his mind off having lied to the electorate.
Just don't say anything for it. Just don't say anything for... Damn it!
A subpoena is just a legal agreement to produce certain testimony and documents.
Yeah, but isn't that like the way a mugger uses a gun to produce your wallet?
You say we're cooperating fully. You say subpoenas don't indicate otherwise. You say they're a commonly used legal tool to define the scope of the inquiry.
Oliver, political reporters don't care about the scope of inquiry. They hear subpoenas.
Look.
My trouble with your spin is that we're not going to get anywhere putting on a calm face. We need to pick a fight.
Why?
Because in politics, if you're not on offense, you're on defense.
Your problem there is that Clem Rollins doesn't foam at the mouth. He's a good guy, and he comes off as a good guy.
Plus, he was appointed by your own attorney general, which is going to make it tough to fit him for a black hat.
Let me think for just a second. What do Republicans say about him?
Well, we don't all hang out at a little club.
What do they say about him?
He's well respected. He's deliberate. He takes his duties seriously. He wants to get the truth, and he wants to avoid any appearance of impropriety or partisanship.
Excuse me.
Where are you going?
We need a different enemy.
When are you gonna meet on the estate tax?
5 minutes.
With Toby?
Yeah.
Just remember, it's a compromise, Josh. It's done. You may not like it, but...
It's compromise.
I'm saying the two of you, when you don't like something, have a tendency to...
Show displeasure?
Piss people off.
That's a bad rap. I'm sweet as pecan pie.
Yeah?
I hate these people, Leo. When this thing is done, I'm gonna personally screw them with their pants on.
Excuse me.
Hey, CJ.
Leo? Giselle?
Yeah, I'm out of here.
You got a second?
Yeah, walk with me.
Oliver Babish and Ainsley Hayes were just in my office.
On spin?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Nothing. You know why?
Rollins likes us.
I don't know if he likes us, but he doesn't hate us.
Well, that's just because he doesn't know us.
Leo, we need to be investigated by someone who wants to kill us just to watch us die. We need someone perceived by the American people to be irresponsible, untrustworthy, partisan, ambitious, and thirsty for the limelight. Am I crazy, or is this not a job for the U.S. House of Representatives?
Well, they'll get around to it sooner or later.
So let's make it sooner. Let's make it now. Rollins is driving him crazy. He's moving too slow. He won't talk to the press. They're ready to jump. I swear to God, Leo, I think we can move the show.
You got a briefing now?
Yeah.
Show me what you're starting with.
Yeah.
Why don't you just wear a pre-tied tie?
Because it's not the same.
It looks the same.
At the end of the night, you want to be able to pull it open like Tony Bennett.
I think the tie is the only thing standing between you and Tony Bennett.
He's also shorter than I am.
Do you know when you're bringing Buckland back here?
I was going to do it before the entree.
You should do it after the entree.
Why?
I don't know. It's more polite.
Is there etiquette for this?
No.
Then why are you bothering me?
I need to talk to you about something.
My phone's ringing.
Yeah.
You want to answer it?
Can we talk sometime tonight? Maybe after the cheese course?
Donna.
Josh, let me in. Yes. It's here.
Call around.
Quiz me.
I don't think I will.
Quiz me.
You're a lively conversationalist. You won't have any problem getting...
Quiz me.
Who are you sitting next to?
Dr. Carrie B. Mullis, recipient of the 1993 Nobel Prize for Chemistry, born 1944 in North Carolina. He earned his bachelor's degree from Georgia Tech and his PhD in biochemistry from my alma mater, UC Berkeley.
If all he wants to talk about is where he's from, where he went to school, and what his name is, you'll be fine.
CJ?
It's here?
Yeah. I'll meet you over there.
Toby.
It's here.
Yeah, I know. Listen, the social office called.
And?
7 Republicans who RSVP'd for the dinner aren't going to show up.
We knew that might happen.
Well, it happened. Do you think we should...
What, put it off?
Yeah.
No.
I'm saying.
The president said he was going to veto the bill. CJ announced he was going to veto the bill. He's going to veto the bill.
There was a reason they had to cancel.
There's an emergency meeting of the Republican leadership.
What do you think they're going to be talking about?
I think they're planning a surprise party.
They could have left after the entree.
Yeah.
They're gonna miss hot pumpkin soup with cheese gnocchi and a chèvre brioche.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big price to pay just to override my veto.
Maybe they think they've got the votes.
What are you saying?
Maybe something shifted in the last couple of hours.
Leo.
You just sent the bill up 5 minutes ago. They know you're gonna veto. Why schedule an override vote right now?
So I'd think twice about vetoing.
Well, that's what I thought, too.
And now?
Good evening, Mr. President.
Where is this thing?
It's on its way.
You know what we're starting with tonight?
No, sir.
Hot pumpkin soup with a cheese gnocchi and a chèvre brioche.
Was anything you just said food?
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening, sir.
It's on its way.
Sir, the social office.
We know.
7 Republicans who RSVP'd for the dinner.
We know.
You know that there's an emergency meeting of the Republican leadership.
Yeah.
I say they could have waited until after the entree.
Maybe they didn't know about the chèvre brioche.
Does anyone want to consider waiting?
No,
The Constitution gives them 10 days.
I'm familiar with it.
So why don't we...
Because if it's a show of strength and resolve, you don't wait to think about it.
And if they override the veto, it's neither strong nor resolute.
They don't have the votes to override.
Says you.
Says me, Josh, the office of political liaison, legislative liaison, and the minority whip.
Sometimes it's like I don't even need to be here.
Good evening, Mr. President.
CJ, you look very nice.
Thank you, sir. Is it here?
It's on its way.
I've been seated next to a chemist tonight.
Mullis?
23 Nobel Prize winners in the East Room. I couldn't get literature or, I don't know, peace or something?
What's her problem?
She thinks she won't be able to make conversation with the guy, but she's wrong because she knows what year he was born and his name.
You gotta be a cryptographer. They speak in combinations of letters that don't spell anything but end up meaning table salt.
Mr. President?
Is it here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey,
Good evening, Mr. President.
what's your name?
I'm Donald Dolan from the Office of the Executive Clerk, sir.
Leo, I don't think it's a bluff. I don't think the congressional leadership holds their members back on a weekend for a bluff.
I don't think they're bluffing, Sam.
Do you think they're holding an override vote tonight?
I'm sure of it.
Why would they hold a vote if they didn't think they could override?
They wouldn't. What do you got in the box, Mr. Dolan?
Mr. President, I have House Resolution 10, the Death Tax Elimination Act. It bears the signatures of both the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate, and it's presented to you by the Congress of the United States for your signature or veto.
Excuse me. Leo, you think we lost some votes we don't know about?
I think we're about to find out.
Sir, if the House successfully overrides the veto, we're gonna look weak.
If the House successfully overrides the veto, we are weak. NaCl, CJ.
I'm sorry, sir.
Table salt.
Stay right there.
Tommy, it's me.
What happened? She ran the card.
It must be bent or something.
Would you stay right there, please?
I'm staying right here. I haven't moved.
Look,
Guys, it's me.
card says you're Charles Young.
Yes. Okay. Well, obviously I'm not.
Why do you have a card that doesn't belong to you?
Because
What's going on?
Mr. McGarry, this woman has a car that doesn't belong to her.
CJ, what the hell?
Charlie's getting me back for.
where you
Oh
are, please.
my God!
Tommy, send her in with an appointment.
An appointment?
Be in your office in 15 minutes.
Can I move now? Excuse me, Mr. President.
CJ, I haven't seen you all night.
I haven't been able to make it over there yet, sir. I've been tracking something down.
John,
Yes, sir.
what is it?
A piece in the Manchester Union Leader. Sources close to Robert Nolan, president of the New Hampshire Medical Board, predict that he will announce his recusal from the case because of his personal
No, damn it.
relationship with the Bartlets. What does this mean for her?
We're pretty sure the board was evenly divided and Nolan was the deciding vote, which is what dictated a lot of it. Damn it!
There was a personal relationship.
Yeah, they worked together for 20 years, and I was the governor who appointed him to the board.
Excuse me, sir.
CJ, you should probably tell Abby.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The union leader says Nolan's going to recuse himself.
What's going to happen?
They're going to suspend her license for a year.
We just talked for a little bit.
And?
I don't think you need to be concerned about her leaving you for me.
I was pretty concerned about that.
She's definitely leaving you for somebody, so don't be
You
so
leave me alone. I'm trying to be a husband, and your mojo is getting all over me.
Marbury's sitting with Toby.
This is Brendan McGann, right?
Yeah. See you inside. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President.
Josh.
Good evening, ma'am.
Listen, I'm sorry to do this at a party, but this is a list of names I'd like you to consider for Deputy Political Director.
Oh, we got it down to a few finalists.
Yeah, I'd like you to add these names.
I can't help noticing these are all women.
Women are 60% of our vote, Josh. Don't you think they should make up at least 40% of our campaign staff?
I'm sorry?
Mrs. Bartlett? I said women are 60% of our vote, don't you think?
Yeah.
You'll get on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Having a good time?
You bet.
You look beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am, and so do you.
Happy birthday, Mrs.
I need to
Bartlett.
speak with you for a second.
Oh, this can't be good.
No, I'm afraid not. Abby, the union leader's got sources saying Dr. Nolan's going to recuse himself from the case.
Claudia Jane,
Yes, ma'am.
let's get drunk.
Okay.
CJ,
I saw it.
it's a death threat.
It's not a big deal.
You sure?
Yeah. Don't tell anybody, okay? I don't want a lot of production.
All right.
Thanks.
Josh, can you come in here and look at this, please?
Donna?
Look at what?
CJ's email.
Call Frank Tenney downstairs. Tell him I want to talk to him right away.
Yeah. You take this seriously?
Yeah, it's a death threat, CJ. I take it seriously. I had some experience with this.
Ron?
CJ, Frank Tenney spoke to me this morning.
Yeah. Josh made me see him yesterday. He filed everything he was supposed to file.
Can I see the message?
It's just, you know, it's what it is.
Could you type in your password? Have you checked your email yet today?
I just got here.
Okay, he sent another one at 5:20 this morning. Have you had cyber threats before?
Not explicitly.
And Agent Tenney says that you don't recognize the sender's address.
No.
Have you had a bad breakup with a boyfriend lately?
God, Ron, I haven't had a boyfriend and I get a lot of hate mail. After the president, I'm the single most visible person in the federal government. Every day I'm on TV, and every day exactly half the people are going to disagree with you, and some of those people are going to hate you, and some of those people are going to write letters.
Yeah, this isn't hate mail. This is a death threat. Can I use your computer for a second?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna need to take your hard drive.
Why?
I just used traceroute tools and the server and the IP address don't match. The address was invented to disguise the origin.
In my briefing yesterday, I made some remarks about a situation in Saudi Arabia. I may have gone too far. I was thinking about apologizing and...
Yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with that.
What do you mean?
Muslim extremists don't get personal. They don't know your name, they don't care. They don't want one person, they want dozens or hundreds. That's why they don't use bullets. Killing one person is a waste of a bomb. He wants you. Why doesn't he want me? Someone will be by in a few minutes to get your hard drive, and we're intercepting all your emails from the address. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Good morning, Mr. President.
You're going to get Secret Service protection, but I can't order it unless you sign this piece of paper. So sign this piece of paper.
Sir, can I ask why you feel it's
Because
necessary
Ron
that
says it is, and around here we do whatever Ron says.
Well, I think it might be an overreaction.
Good for you. With all your years of training and experience in sniffing out crime, your opinion really carries a lot of weight with me.
I don't want to appear fragile.
Are you kidding?
Sir?
We're talking about one bodyguard. I have 12, and that's before I leave the house. You ever count the number of guns that come along with me when Abby and I take in a play at the Kennedy Center? Do I seem fragile to you?
No, sir.
Then.
You're also not a woman in a man's job. To say nothing of the fact that you're required by law to be protected by the Treasury Department. You don't have a choice. And frankly, sir, you and I both know that you've scored points frequently with the public and with the press by shrugging off your Secret Service and doing whatever, going to a bookstore.
I don't care.
Sir.
I don't care. You're part of my family, and this thing is happening, and I simply won't permit it. Sign the piece of paper.
Look.
Let me tell you something. The last time a member of my staff got a death threat, they missed him and hit me.
Ron, is there any evidence at all that this guy... Look, I work in the White House. Everybody knows that. But is there any evidence to suggest that... Where did you get these?
Today's email.
That's me leaving my house on Monday. This one's at a restaurant where I had dinner with my niece. But I'm the cool aunt. This is what I do. Look at this. Oh, good gracious, black silk couture gown.
I'd have to be 5'11" to look good in that.
As luck would have it, that's my height exactly.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just gonna take this one, too.
What is it that you look for exactly?
You know it when you see it.
What do you mean?
Look this way. Now look this way. Now look this way. Now look this way. Now look at me. What'd you see?
Over here, there was a mother with 2 kids. Over here, there was a man in a coat, and I can't remember what else. Over here, I can't remember, and over here was the checkout counter, and there were some people there, and I can't remember what else.
Anything bother you?
No?
About the guy in the coat.
What about him?
It's me. Why is he wearing a coat?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But until one of us leaves the store, I'm always gonna know where he is.
So you're always looking?
Yeah. We're actually not supposed to talk that much.
Sorry. So, what would it take for you to brandish your weapon?
What? I mean, excuse me?
What would it take right now for you to just reach in and brandish your weapon?
Something pretty extraordinary.
How long have you been with the Secret Service?
Well, I went to college basically on an Army scholarship, which means that after you get out, you have to serve a certain number of years. I was with the Chicago Police Department for a few years, and I've been with the Secret Service for the last 9.
Have you ever brandished your weapon?
Yes.
Have you ever fired it?
Yes. What?
I'm just trying to think of when in the last 9 years an agent would have had to fire his gun. Unless you were at Roslyn. Well, you're a good guy. I'm sorry, am I not allowed to touch you?
No, it's okay.
On CJ, you're not gonna believe this.
What?
Hogan, we're gonna tell her another time, okay?
Is Simon bothering you?
No.
If he ever does, I want you to shriek at the top of your lungs, okay?
Okay.
Dawson, 809. I've got Flamingo.
Hey, Jamie, could you give us just a second?
Yes, ma'am.
Come here.
Okay.
Yes. What were you and Hogan talking about that you would tell me later?
I was on Eagle's protection detail in Roslyn.
I didn't know that.
No, it's just...
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I just said thank you.
Okay.
Well, I should get going. Have a good night.
Good night.
Well, first of all, that's not a cow. It's not. It's a goat. Yeah, I may have agreed to something about a goat.
What, did the First Lady get you drunk and take you shopping?
Leo, yes. The name of the group is Heifer International. I was under the impression it was going to be a cow.
Lending presidential aura to the photo?
Okay. I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to wait until after the vote at 10:30, because if we don't win, then it'd be a mistake for this picture to run tomorrow.
How big a mistake?
One from which certainly my job would have hung in the balance.
In the balance?
Goats are heifers, too?
I don't know.
If the president's wearing a hat, or that thing's wearing a Bartlett button, I'm hiding snakes in your car.
Come on, don't say that. Not even to joke.
You're never going to know where they are
Leo!
or if you got them all out. Excuse me. Gonna lay their eggs right in the glove compartment.
So, this is going to be a little while. Can you wait?
Well, Ron doesn't do that well in the cold.
Are you Ron?
I'm Mike.
Of course. We'll find an empty room for him.
I have oats in the truck.
Well, you should bring the oats, because the mess closes at 6.
Okay.
Tough beat, everybody. Thanks for the work. Next time we let Josh do it the way he wants.
Sir, have you met...
Bill Haley.
Will Bailey.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. President.
What's this thing with the cow?
It's a goat now.
Okay.
We'll cancel it.
You think?
A milking goat? It's gonna seem like a parody of foreign aid.
I don't know. I don't know, everybody. CJ wants to cancel the goat picture. Half the world's people live on less than $2 a day. 130 million will never step inside a schoolhouse. Ingredients for bombs can be purchased at hardware stores. And we've just given the third world just what the doctor ordered: rollbacks. Heifer International, they give free cows and goats to people who need milk.
Yes, sir.
Well, then I don't think we're in any position to be snotty. Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Carol?
They're right out here.
So I think this will work. I think it says, well, you're impoverished, and while we don't care, we don't want you to go away empty-handed, so we offer this goat, Ron, to give you milk.
Do male goats give milk?
No. No, of course they don't. So we offer you this thing that'll just gnaw on your stuff.
I'm not standing in this picture alone. This was a total team failure. Stand where you want. But I want my chief of staff and my chief political advisor standing near the goat. Let's go!
Hang on a second. Okay.
Now,
we're ready.
Let's go.
Set that clock for 90 days.
Hey, listen, everybody. The Colonel just told us we're about to go by something incredible, and you hardly ever get to see this. It's going to be out the left side of the plane.
What is it?
Got to come over to the left side. Everybody over here, it's coming up.
What are we over?
Well, we're over the Blue Ridge Mountains, but there's a festival of lights and bonfires in this region that accompanies something called the Wildflower, Renaissance, with lilac and ochre.
That you can see from 33,000 feet?
Yes, it's arranged in a pattern that befuddles astronomers to this day. We should be coming up on it any...
Oh, my God!
Of course, on the right side of the plane is an F-16 Falcon.
CJ, what the hell's going on?
She's on our way.
Have we been attacked?
This is armed?
Signal, this is CJ Cregg. Shut off the phones in the press cabin. There's a problem with the plane's landing gear.
CJ, you can't. CJ.
Is it down?
I'm sorry, sir, we don't know yet.
Why not?
Well, there's no moon tonight. It's tough for them to see under the plane, but they're still trying.
What's next?
We do a flyby at Andrews Tower and take a look.
How close do we fly to the tower?
You're gonna have to fly pretty close.
At what altitude?
Pretty low.
We can't just stay up here for a couple of days and wait till there's a moon?
We'll let the boys next door in the Falcon poke around a little bit first, but I want to tell you...
What else?
We're gonna have to refuel pretty soon.
Larry, would you go back and mention that to CJ?
Yes, sir.
No one up here is in a position to file right now.
Not in a position to... Air Force One isn't landing, and it has a military escort.
That's the story you'd file. You wouldn't mention the landing gear.
We'd mention the landing gear right along with the maintenance truck and whatever you tell us next.
Come on. The maintenance truck was an honest effort to avoid panic. Of course, you were going to know the truth at the end of the incident.
CJ.
I'm not going to broadcast that the president's plane is in distress. It creates very real security concerns, and it also happens to be a world market event.
It is a market event.
The story's embargoed. If a cell phone appears in violation of FAA regulations, the cell phone will be confiscated by a steward.
They're gonna refuel.
They want to refuel. How do they do that?
Well, instead of an F-16 coming up next to us, a KC-10 is gonna, well, land on top of us. They know how to do it.
Yeah, they're going to do a mid-air refueling with a KC-10.
What does that mean?
It means they think we're going to be up here for a little while longer. Are we near the tower?
Gear's down.
What?
They got the indicator light.
They recycled the gear and the light went on this time. We're landing.
I was the one who said it first.
Signal, this is CJ Cregg. Please turn the phones back on in the press cabin. We're landing. We got an indicator light. You should feel free to file. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you, CJ.
CJ, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, CJ.
Thank you. You heard?
Yeah.
Sit down. I was meaning to ask you, why didn't you ask about the front wheel before? You asked the colonel if it was the front wheel.
If you have the rear wheels, you can try a hard landing where you come down hard on the back wheels in an effort to whack the front into place.
To whack it into place?
Yes.
I'm so happy I didn't have that information.
If you hit it wrong, the plane breaks in half.
It just suddenly worked?
The gear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm good at living in a world where that kind of thing is possible.
But you are.
I imagine myself destitute. I imagine myself unlucky in love. But I never imagined my life would be in danger with really uncommon frequency. Feels a little bit good, doesn't it?
No.
Yes, it does.
I'll make jokes when this whole bullfight with gravity is over.
Okay, what?
We think you should go on the Taylor Reid show. The chicken thing has legs, those pointy little toes.
No.
The Washington Wire has Tyson Foods offering you a lifetime supply of wings and thighs if you'll do a print ad for whole fryers. And the reliable source notes that the Oval Room, your favorite restaurant, has a new menu item, an ungodly combination of chicken, avocado, and poached eggs called the C.J. Cregg egg.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Go on the show, call his bluff, show you have a sense of humor. Can wear a chicken suit. Take him even semi-seriously, he'll lay off and find another cluck to pluck.
A chicken suit.
Josh, Leo's looking for you. Hey, you should read the Wendt Amendment.
I'm trying to read it now.
It's pretty narrowly drawn, actually. Not the worst thing. Did you see it last night?
See what?
She doesn't know?
No what?
Taylor Reid was talking about your spin on the decline in manufacturing jobs, and he said... the tall lady's back to telling tall tales.
The tall lady.
Tall lady.
Carol, call the Taylor Reid show, book me on the next open slot. I'm gonna reach down and rip off his puny little face.
If he points to the truth meter, keep looking at Taylor.
If he dunks me in a river and I float, does that mean I'm a witch?
Back in 10.
Thank you, Bambi, very much.
God, it's great you could join us. I'm a huge fan. Thank you.
5, 4, 3.
As promised, White House Press Secretary C.J. Cregg has finally agreed to join us today. Miss Cregg, global warming, that's a liberal fantasy, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Voodoo environmentalism without any scientific
There are about
proof.
16 Nobel laureates, 57 World Bank economists, and 17 scientific studies.
The World Bank is the UN for tree huggers. They think companies that create jobs and help big industry...
That's ridiculous.
If it's ridiculous, you should stop funding them. Judicial nominees, the United States Senate doesn't think it's a good idea to approve of Bartlet's liberal judges that treat the Constitution like it's some kind of beer coaster.
The president has nominated dozens of highly qualified judges.
Are you trying to pack the courts with liberal judges so that you can institute the right to gay marriage? Because one of your nominees...
Seeking the right to gay marriage.
I think the Christians did a little better with the Lions.
We have to take a commercial break. We will be right back with C.J. Cregg.
Oh, it's only the first round. She's still testing her jab. She better go to her hook soon.
You're not giving me a chance to answer. If you just want to bloviate, why don't I leave a cardboard cutout of myself and you can talk all you want?
4, 3.
You're doing great. We are back with C.J. Cregg, who says she could have sent a cardboard cutout of herself for all we're going to get out of her today. C.J., the First Lady is back to practicing medicine at a Southeast D.C. clinic. Isn't she breaking her promise to the American people? Didn't she say she wasn't going to practice medicine again after lying to keep her husband's condition a secret from the American voter?
The First Lady is volunteering in a free clinic in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the nation, helping to save children's lives.
Don't you think the First Lady should try to fix health care in this country as opposed to repairing her own self-image?
She's an MD. She can fix whatever she damn well pleases. And if it were health care, you'd try and block it.
That's not true. I'm for sensible health care. I'm just against socialized medicine.
No, you're not.
Let's talk about how the First Lady lied to the American people.
No, let's talk about your paid speeches to the pharmaceutical lobby.
Free country.
And your paid speeches to the HMO and insurance lobby. And how every time health care reform comes up on your show, you're miraculously against it. The First Lady's rolling up her sleeves and getting something done, and you're not because you're depositing their checks. And let's talk about who's chicken.
We'll be back with White House Press Secretary C.J. Cregg after this.
Wait, what was that? You're breaking up on me.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's much better. So what's this about the dollar and the yen?
No, not the yen. That's Japan. China's currency is the yuan.
This isn't PBS. He's not going to ask about the yuan.
But cheap goods imported from China are what tomorrow's labor protests are going to be about. So we got to start getting out the message that Chinese... Hang on a second. AP is reporting a presidential commission recommends a 50% increase in cigarette taxes. What?
He's definitely going to ask me about that. Give me more.
17-cent increase. Raise $3.4 billion a year, $16 billion over
Hang
5
on.
years.
Can you stick it there? Sure. Yeah?
Could buy out 75% of tobacco farmers.
Did you see Dredge?
Paid them not to grow tobacco. Increase the price of tobacco would reduce teenage smoking. Other recommendations for reducing teenage smoking.
In 10, 9, 8.
Toby, I gotta go.
No, wait!
6. Wait!
Hello? Damn it.
Joining me now in a rare venture outside the tightly controlled environment of the White House press briefing room is the one and only queen of the Bartlett Spinners, Miss C.J. Cregg. C.J., welcome back to the show.
Always a pleasure, Taylor. But if you really think the press briefing room is a controlled environment, you ought to try controlling 100 hungry reporters someday. And if I'm queen of anything, then I want a bigger office.
Okay, C.J., tell us about the president's secret plan to raise taxes.
I'd love to, but it's so secret, he hasn't even told me about it.
I'm talking about a secret presidential commission that wants a whopping 50%
First
increase.
of all, Taylor, it's not a secret commission. Their report was just released, and it's on the AP wire. That's how you found out about it and how I found out about it. And I promise you the president hasn't even heard of it yet.
The commission's administration is going to ask the president to raise taxes.
Yes, among their many recommendations to reduce teenage smoking, they suggest a 17-cent increase in the price
That's
on
50%,
cigarettes.
CJ.
Yes,
That's what I said.
Yes,
50%.
Taylor, 17 pennies does equal 50% in this little math problem.
Well, that's not going to stop teenagers from smoking cigarettes.
Raising the price should reduce the demand a bit, but more importantly, it will raise $3.4 billion a year. That's $16 billion over 5 years, and that would be enough to buy out 75% of the American tobacco farmers.
You mean pay them not to grow tobacco?
If we reduce the
Has this
supply of
president
tobacco.
ever met a government handout he didn't like? I mean, how many people does he want to pay to do nothing? Does he not realize that the budget deficit is already large enough? And how much taxation does he think we can stand before we reach our breaking point? Has this president forgotten that this country was founded during a tax revolt? CJ, what is he thinking?
Which one of those is your favorite? Because if there's one you actually want me to answer,
Come on,
I'd be
CJ,
glad.
we all know he's never met a tax increase he didn't like. If you don't want to answer the question, then we'll move on to something else.
problem.
This is new. This is from the Drudge Report, Matt Drudge's website, and I'm reading. The Sunday Times Magazine is going to run an in-depth profile of former Vice President John Hoynes, who resigned as a result of a sex scandal. Hoynes cooperated with the Times and submitted to a tell-all interview in which he revealed that President Bartlet tried to talk him into staying in office. Is that true, CJ? Was the president trying to orchestrate another cover-up here, CJ?
Look, I can't respond to every crazy website.
Did the president tell Hoynes not to resign?
I haven't even read the article.
Did he or
so
didn't he?
I'm not privy to the private conversations the president had.
Come on, CJ, this is pretty basic. Did the president tell Hoynes to stick around because he thought he could beat the rap?
I really can't comment on that.
That's your answer. Your answer is no comment. All right, we got to go to a break. When we come back, more with White House Press Secretary C.J. Cregg. That was a great segment, C.J. Good job.
Who's following breaking crime news for me?
Me, nothing coming in that suggests FBI involvement.
FBI? He's just keeping Eric on his toes. Everybody get back to work. Go on.
Okay, hold on one second. CJ.
Yeah. I am here to articulate the president's message and to honestly inform the press and through them the public about what is happening on any given day.
They need you in Leo's now?
All of us?
They didn't say.
Okay, no big deal. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
You think the director of the FBI will let us in this?
Hard to tell.
I gather he's a pretty independent guy
He is.
and not afraid of the limelight. So, typical morning so far?
Yes and no.
Because we're here?
I don't have to tell you about the Heisenberg principle.
The act of observing a phenomena changes it.
Yes. All right.
They signed the waivers.
They what?
Yeah?
Oh,
Excuse me.
wait a minute.
Good work. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Director Arnold, this is Todd Shoemaker and Agent Casper.
Director Arnold has a situation unfolding. It's not for White House comment at this time. In fact, we don't believe you'll be asked about it, but the director thought you should be made aware.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
We have 6 federal agents surrounding a remote cabin on Shaw Island in the San Juans, 20 miles off the coast of Washington State. A man named Jamal Othman, a naturalized Yemeni American, is inside with his family.
I'm sorry, is he being brought up on charges or?
Othman was under investigation for arms trafficking. Our agents tracked him to his current location where gunfire was exchanged 90 minutes ago.
Gunfire?
President has been notified. We'll let you know when it resolves.
I'm sorry, but why do you think I'm not going to be asked questions about this?
Shaw Island is only accessible by ferry and by float plane. If the story breaks, it'll take news crews about 45 minutes, an hour and a half.
Our Seattle field office media rep is already setting up on site. If it comes to it, he's prepared to handle the press from there.
But when you say gunfire, I mean...
Thank you, C.J. Will.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm just...
Thank you.
I am here to articulate the president's message and to honestly inform the press and through them the public about what is happening on any given day.
When we return,
CJ, they have it.
breaking news turns the White House upside down.
Is this another Casey Creek?
I'll get them on the line now. Margaret, I need Stanley at State and Henry at Trade for a conference call with the president on Air Force One. When? Right now. What's up, Amy?
Here's where we are so far. We've got someone ready to go for every one of those job titles. People in those jobs should be ready to move out by Inauguration Day.
I'll let them know.
Things aren't moving so fast with the state. President-elect doesn't want any empty desks at State with the Kazakhstan crisis still hot, so he'd like all the undersecretaries and assistant secretaries to plan to stay in place for a while.
He's having trouble picking a secretary?
He's still staring at the short list.
Nancy McNally?
I have no idea. I'm just the messenger. She's on the short list.
Good.
Helen Santos is here. And Stanley is having his teeth whitened right now, so they're trying to find someone at Trade who can do the conference call.
Okay. My once proud team.
I'll just duck out this way.
Problems with the First Lady-elect?
Just not her favorite person today.
Come on.
It's nothing, really. I'll slip out of your way.
Hello, Mrs. Santos. I'm C.J. Cregg.
I know we get CNN in Texas. Do me a favor.
Sure, anything.
Please call me Helen.
Okay. How are we doing?
Got everyone ready, but now the president's on another call.
The First Lady would have loved to have shown you around, but she's on her way to Brussels with the president. They've asked me to make you feel at home.
Oh, in this place?
Well, you'll see the residence does have some homey touches.
Ah, like?
You could get bunk beds for the kids.
I gotta find a school for them first before I think about bedrooms.
Jim Kane can help you with that.
The Secretary of Education.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Personal staff is waiting for you in the East Room. Most of them have been here a long time. They really know their stuff.
All I need is a nanny type and someone to help clean up the kids' bedrooms.
I think they can manage that. This is Curtis Schaefer.
Nice to meet you.
My pleasure, Mrs. Santos.
Mr. Schaefer is the chief usher.
Chief usher?
Means he's the man in charge.
If it's all right with you, I thought we'd begin with a quick introduction to everyone, then split off into individual meetings with the executive chef. The pastry chef, I imagine your children might have some favorite desserts he'll want to know about. Then the head florist would like a few minutes just to get a general impression of your preferences and the president-elect's preferences.
The president-elect doesn't have a flower preference.
So for the Oval Office?
Oh, he'll never notice the flowers. Whatever you like is fine.
I understand. You don't need to meet with the butlers and maids individually, but it would be very helpful if you could spend a few minutes with the president-elect's valet today, because he needs to finalize his...
I'm sorry, could you excuse us for 1 minute, please? Thanks. Hey, this is too much. We don't need all these people.
Okay. Which ones do you want to fire?
Do you think St. Albans was a little, stuffy?
A little?
Bancroft was more down to earth.
Yep.
What?
The idea of spending $25,000 for 5th grade?
Ridiculous.
What would public school be like if we spent $25,000 per pupil?
In 1 year, we will spend more for 2 kids than my entire education cost.
Hey, I actually got a paycheck at Annapolis.
Where is the next school?
What next school? I thought we were only doing 2 schools today.
I told your scheduler that we had 3 schools
Honey,
to check out.
I can't do another school today. I have to get back to the office. I've got Arnold Vinnick waiting for me.
The president-elect is on the line for you.
Hello?
Hey, Arnie. Thanks for coming in to see me. Listen, I'm really sorry about the scheduling mix-up. We're looking at schools for kids, and it's taking longer than we thought.
I understand.
So can we push our meeting back for about an hour?
Well, my schedule's pretty busy these days.
Well, let's see what our staffs can work out.
Yeah, sure.
Really appreciate any time that you can give me today. And again, I'm sorry about having to reschedule.
No problem.